afternoon, Rider fans. I'm Katuri, and welcome back to the Riders Reviews podcast. Joining me today is the same staff. We didn't replace our staff throughout this season. It would have been funny if I actually planned that out. Ryan Second and Prez talking about probably the most interesting batch of episodes we're going to be talking about.
So we're going to be talking for 45 minutes about episode 29 and nothing else.
Yeah, I can't believe this is going to be short.
The last episode.
I can't believe the finale of Kamen Rider Hibiki. Wow.
The fan recommended cutoff.
Wow.
They may have a point.
I'm sure we'll see why.
I think we're already starting to see why.
Let's get into it. So we resolve our cliffhanger from the last batch now because we had that one random episode. We're now going to have cliffhangers at the end of all these batches.
Hey, we got the weekly watching experience now. Woo!
Woo. Oh darn, Asumu lives. And it's also like, they made it look
like
Asumu
lives.
They make it look like it's such a more dangerous fall at the end of 28, and then you cut to 29. He just slides a little bit down the hill.
He's skipped his knee, though. That could be terrible, right?
Jerry, have you ever seen The Five Doctors?
Dude.
No, I have not.
Oh, Rain knows what I'm talking
about. Yeah.
There's a scene where, you know Sarah Jane, right?
Yes.
There's a scene where they, as written, it's like, oh no, Sarah Jane falls off an embankment and the third doctor has to save her and pull her up with a rope. But they picked the flattest fucking hill for her to fall off of, and it looks absolutely fucking ridiculous.
It's hilarious. I'm about to fall 6 inches. Whatever will I do?
It's almost as bad as the 7th Doctor cliffhanger, where he literally just decides to hang from a cliff for no reason.
That's at least funny, though. That's at least funny.
That's peak. And I will not hear arguments to the contrary.
I know writers do subtests, and they're all cowards.
While this is going on, we got Hibiki and Todoroki dealing with the armored Doji and Hime.
Well, you said deeply with.
Man, imagine if they had their own color-coded power-ups here. Wouldn't that have been nice?
They actually get a few hits off to the Doji and the Hime. Then the Hime blows up.
Oh yeah, they decided they were going to team up. It's a neat fight.
Yeah, it's fun.
You can also kind of tell this is when they decided to take some notes from the studio and try and sell some merch. Because we get this whole scene inside the tent while it's raining in the Takashi branded bag, and now sold on the Namco store. It's just facing the screen the whole time. Now there's like branded towels as well.
We don't talk about Namco for Tekken 8. We don't talk about them for Tekken 8.
What?
Yeah, Tekken 8 is not being great.
Oh.
That's a Namco game.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay, this was before Tekken 8. This was long before.
Yeah.
Before they started going
down. Like Tekken 5 territory. Yeah, we're cool.
Yeah.
We're cool.
Yeah, when Tekken was still good. They could sell
it's still good. Remember 2005 when Tekken was still good? We said the same thing at the same time. God damn it.
Man, you guys are mirroring each other. Fuck.
Whoa.
Yes. You said it, so I didn't have to. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to have bring this back up later on, but we have another Hibiki and Asumu talk. You know how much I love these. The whole conversation about women while Asumu's staring at chess from a few episodes back.
This is not as bad as that.
It's not as bad as that. It's not as bad as that. But here's the thing. All these talks feel more like bits. Later on, we're going to have a really good talk. But the fact that we have this talk about loss, which, Asumu's still feeling down from being beaten up in the previous episode. And
that's still so random, by the way.
So random. But the thing is, they needed that to happen so Hibiki can talk about loss. Hey, you lost your phone, the thing we've seen you use multiple times throughout the season. I lost my hat, the thing I've wore once.
He's trying. He's doing his best. He doesn't have a lot to relate to this kid on right now.
Unfortunately, his best isn't that good.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And they were trying to wrap it up. Like they were trying to finish the series. They had to give him a lesson to be learned somewhere before they all had to pack up their boxes and leave the office.
So the lesson was, I had a cool hat. I don't have a cool hat. That's sad.
Yeah. It happens in life. You lose your cool hat. You lose your cell phone.
Oh fuck! I
The
forgot.
important thing is to keep going.
Oh, the
Yeah.
important thing is to keep the trip
Yeah.
alive. Woo!
Yes.
Yeah. Woo.
Speaking of Woo, Asumu mom finally goes to touch upon this.
This is she's not a bad character.
She does her own
No.
speech there too.
I do again. I like that we get so many scenes of characters just getting to know each other. I just didn't wish for 80% of the series to be this so far.
And anyway, going back a bit, since I was going to do a bit, and then I realized, oh shit, I hadn't done the Hibiki bit. So then I had to do the Hibiki bit, and then I had to make up this bit while we were talking. So to go back a bit, so anyway, Hibiki tells Asumu all about loss.
No,
I knew it. Kick him out.
no.
Just kick him out right now.
Fresno, you are not your girlfriend. You are.
Wow. Never mind. That was much more painful than kicking them out of the group. That was a dagger to the heart.
You mean? Listen. We're both mean gremlins. We're made for each other.
Yes, but your girlfriend's a chaos gremlin. You're not quite.
I take slight offense to that, Rainiac.
Yeah, fair enough. That was quite insulting.
Fresno put in law, so Savannah finally watches this podcast.
Fresno, you're quite right. Slap on the wrist. There we go.
I mean, if you have your way, last night we're talking about things. The other night we're talking about, oh, we watched this show and that show. Hey, we got a show for you to watch. Here's a Kamen Rider show.
I'm totally not in a bad mood.
I'm
totally not in a bad mood because my football team just lost the FA Cup final. No, sir.
Second,
No, you know it's a whoop that. Come on.
Second, I showed them the GIF of Kamen Rider Glare 2 doing the worm.
Yes.
That's how you get people into Kamen Rider. You're like, here are the memes that came from this series. And
You
then they
can't
watch
about
it,
the
and
helmet.
then-
Are you sure about that?
I just know Savannah would love Geets because of the big twist of Geets, which I'm not going to spoil here.
and the memes.
And the memes. There's so many memes.
Always the memes. There's always memes.
You probably would.
Oh god.
Speaking of memes, the giant spider shows up.
Well, yeah, the giant spider shows up, and normally we're used to Hibiki coming to the rescue, but this time it's Aiki. We get Aiki to show up. What?
We're never going to see him again, are we?
No.
God damn it! I was hoping. I was wrong.
No, that was funny though, because there's like a random line about, oh, he just needs to sleep or else he'll feel achy. Oh, why are you here? I no longer feel achy.
Yeah.
Because he's
So-
achy.
Originally, they didn't like the pun, but then Aiki makes the pun himself, so it's fine.
Oh god. They're all just dads, aren't they? Like,
Then the giant spider becomes Armagoma from the Zelda games.
yeah.
Why not?
It runs away, but apparently just runs away right to Hibiki because we have to get the action in the Hibiki suit once the episode.
Yes, it's in his contract. You must
we
show
go.
We have to light him on fire at least once every
episode.
episode as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Stuntman benefits. Have to light him on fire every episode.
Yeah, he gets a bonus if he gets
Yeah.
lit on fire during an episode.
No fire, no pay.
At
Yes.
least this fight was kind of cool. I like him using the fire lightsaber to start cutting off all the legs.
Yes, very cool. They're starting to hint at maybe he'll keep using that for something cool. Maybe he can use a sword sometime.
What a shame. This is the final episode of the entire series.
Yeah, that's true.
What a shame. Goodness.
Maybe in the movie
Well-
he'll use the sword.
Maybe in the movie.
What a shame they got fired, but they got to write a movie.
I can't believe that Asumu turned to the camera and said, I have to go now. My planet needs me.
God damn it.
And the episode ends, and it ends just like any other episode. Just
And
everyone's
so
having
the
a
writers
party.
came back for next episode and found, hey, why don't my keys work anymore? What's going on here?
It's very sad actually, because if you look very carefully during the end credit sequence to episode 29, you just about make out some crying writers carrying their belongings.
Oh my god. It's dark.
So we have hit the fan recommended cutoff. Long story short, we alluded to this more than once. The staff got fired. We don't know why the staff got fired. It could be low ratings. It could be no toys were being sold, no merchandise were being sold.
I think we hit the nail on the head. I think Second said this. This is just so uncommon Rider like. And it's like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with this?
Well, that should be a strength of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a strength for us, the old people watching it, but for the little kids in Japan who are supposed to go out and buy
I hate to bring up Power Rangers again, but RPM, right? RPM was like any other series but that had gone before it in the Power Rangers canon. And that's why people loved it. Because it just leaned into the fact that it was breaking the fourth wall fairly regularly. And the characters were great, and the action was great, and they didn't mind that it was mostly from the Japanese show. It worked.
It wasn't even mostly from the Japanese show. They had to film so much original footage because that wasn't
true. Yeah, Tonight 7 came about because they couldn't have the Japanese evil lady on camera.
Well, it's not even just that. Well, one that they usually get a different villain because it's hard to dub over Japanese actors' mouths.
But they kept vengeance.
Sentai has these big fucking helmets on.
It's okay because they just invented vengeance, which was just a voice for like 30 episodes.
It's okay because I'm Scottish.
That is hilarious.
But yeah, so we get a new producer. Takatera gets kicked out. We now have Shinichiro Shirakura. I should have looked. He was basically a producer for most of the seasons going into this, chief producer. So, he was the chief producer for Akito, Ryuki, and Fies. I guess he skipped Blade.
Okay, so a proven commodity in producing Kamen Rider.
Yeah, so he knew what was going on. Toshiki Inoue, I cannot pronounce names to save my life, was promoted to head writer with Soji Yonimura. They wrote for many shows in the past, like Kuga, Ryuki. Like they were never head writers until now, but they wrote. Inoue wrote 7 episodes of Blade, every episode of Fies, every episode of Akito. I guess they were head writers. Sorry, I'm trying to read the wiki while doing this because I didn't. I hear a second laughing. I'm so sorry.
No, I understand. I was also looking at the wiki right before this episode. I think Inoue worked on a few episodes of Ryuki. He wasn't like the head writer. He was the head writer on Fies, I believe.
Yeah.
And then it was like written before. And I feel like when people distinguish head writer, they like count the number of episodes. But like I feel like you can still be a very influential writer on a series if you have a really distinct writing style and people remember those episodes just as much as like the head writer. So
Inoue done so many shows in the past too, and did a lot of anime. I know he did a lot of Sentai. Yeah, so he did Flashman. He was the head writer of Jetman. There we go. See, here's the thing. I like when Wiki bolds. When Wiki bolds what show they're the head writer for, that's what I recognize. So whenever I was looking at the wiki and none of it was bold, I'm like, oh wait, I thought. Now I'm on a different wiki. Yeah. He was head writer Kiva as well. Then he did Shogeki Go Right In, but we don't talk about that. Anyway, what's up, Fres?
I was just going to ask, so the old writing staff, were they all fresh or were they like Kamen Rider veterans too?
I don't think they were Kamen Rider veterans originally. Kida, one of the main. Actually, Kida. Oh God! Now I know why Wizard was so bad. Holy crap!
Enlightenment.
Oh God. Tsuyoshi Kida was one of the head writers for Hibiki. I'm gonna translate this Japanese wiki page. 1 second. He was one of the main writers of Ginga Man before this. So that's like his only other Toku.
Right.
But then he was the main writer wizard. Now it all makes sense. Holy shit.
So basically, they took this writing team, they gave him the boot, and then they brought in a bunch of Kamen Riders steady hands in the hopes to write.
Yes.
I don't know, write the ship.
Basically.
And it's weird because like I expected it to feel like a completely fucking different show, and there are differences, and we'll get to them. There's a big one coming, but with the editing style and the pace and all that, it still does feel like Hibiki. It doesn't feel like, oh my god, it's become this completely different fucking piece of trash. It's weird.
Well, you've noticed there's been some things already missing.
Yeah, they don't have the Hibiki Sansanoni. He fights for justice. They just have regular ass recaps.
Yeah, well, they did that, but they're also, how every now and then, like when they were trying to set the mood and it flashed a random Japanese kanji.
Oh, they stopped that? They did. Shit.
Yep, that was also taken out.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm trying to read what else is going on.
Multitasking.
Yeah, I know. I know. So things got changed. So Aiki and Shoki were going to be main cast members, but were completely removed.
Oh.
Removed
So they
completely.
introduced that guy,
No,
and
we've
then
got to
they
make
never
room for
saw him again.
We do see Shoki in like episode 32, and he probably wished that we didn't.
Yeah.
Like Kulo C, the best kid in school who can do everything perfectly and great, and everyone loves him, and he's the greatest. And he's going to be our new protagonist. His name is Gary Stew. Everybody,
Gary Stew.
No. For real. Okay, the whole concept of the Mary Sue. This character is perfect in every way. He's breaking the immersion of the show. It's built.
That's Mary Poppins.
It's built on a very specific piss take of Star Trek fan fiction from the 1970s and should not have been cannibalized back into, grr, I'm mad that a female character has competence in a movie. That being said, fucking this guy, Kiria, he does have, flaws and foibles and obviously deeper motivations that we don't know about just yet, but he does kind of fit the vibe of, this guy just shows up and he's fucking perfect at everything, and the show is half about him now. It's weird.
But we're talking about Korea, right?
Korea,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So
The new guy school.
Yeah, the new guy at school, the cool kid who isn't very cool.
Well, I was also going to point out we are never going to see the fire breathing attack or the Oni claws again.
Wow.
What is going on with this
Why
rewrite?
not? Why not? I'm just trying to think like
There have
what's
been
wrong with
complaints,
them?
according to the wiki, there have been complaints about the sequences from parents out of advocacy groups who claims that that scared children.
Oh my god, they got all Zedded. Jesus.
Okay.
Things as complicated to animate CG Makamo and shooting them out as Ramos also entirely reduced due to cost.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. We spent all of our budget on suits.
I'm sorry, Katir. I'm thinking of fucking builds. Thousands, millions of people dead on this other planet. Totally fine. Kamen Rider breathing fire. Too scary.
Actual devils from hell. Fine. Claws. Nah.
The actor, and I think I said this in the first podcast, but the actor who played Hibiki Winas in 2006, it should not have ended that way. It was essentially an incomplete process, should not have ended that way. The Doji on a blog wrote, I cannot forgive them. I want to continue his idea. And apparently Toei executives had to keep apologizing because they felt like they were embarrassed about this whole thing.
Good. I'm glad they should be. I'm glad that they apologized.
Yes,
I know
absolutely.
they're like beholden to their shareholders and stuff, but I would be mad if I wrote 30 episodes of a series and then they were like, you guys aren't selling enough toys. You gotta go.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
got too many complaints from the parents about the Wolverine claws, guys. You gotta pack it up.
You mean the best bit of the fuck? Why are they doing this?
But here's the thing. Oh God, fuck.
Here's the
No,
thing.
no, it's fine.
I don't
I'm not going to do that
feel
again. We've got that out of our system. But when it comes to Korea, right? Am I saying Korea?
Mhm.
Right. When it
Yeah.
comes to Korea, we need to address the elephant in the room.
Fucking damn it.
I agree. Now go ahead with addressing the elephant in the room.
Hey, elephant, get out of the room! You're taking up too much space.
Second's the
But
only
seriously,
one here. Second's the only one here.
if this is the big reason why they changed the writers, they kind of shouldn't have bothered. Because this character, for me, just doesn't do it.
No.
He
And
makes the
thing
show worse.
And the thing is, I'll go back to the point I was going to make here. The actor who plays Kiria does end up becoming like a mainstay in Kamen Rider.
Well, hopefully he's better than this character because, my God.
So he's an
And
industry
he's
plant, is what I'm hearing. They put him in a Kamen Rider, even though nobody really wanted him there. And then he did a good job, and they were like, let's keep putting him in more Kamen Riders.
Oh, so he's like a politician that gets pressured into the same seat after an election time. Okay.
He was literally given the role of the secondary rider of Dino without an audition. That the guy
Holy crap
was like, hey, you're going to be the secondary rider, and it ends up becoming one of the best characters in Kamen Rider history.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so he does get better than this because he's not very good here.
Oh, everything about like Dino is one of those seasons. Again, it's you don't see anyone complain about Doctor Who series 4, which came out like at the exact same time as Dino. And you don't hear people it's like the Final Fantasy 6 or 7.
Back then the show was good. So
Dino is the meme. Dino was when Kamen Rider was good.
There you go.
But he ends up showing up in a whole bunch of crossover movies. His character comes back more often because the lead actor of Dino became a AAA actor. So they really couldn't have like good recognition from the show. The lead female quits acting halfway through the season of Dino. So you can't use her. Fresno already knows about the hot lead actor from Dino because
That's
of the build.
what I was going to say. All I know about Dino is that at night when we watched that movie, we're like, "Oh my god, this guy's fucking hot."
But I think I get what they were trying to go with Kiria here, and I'm not sure I agree with it, right? But they're trying to get you to root for Asumu by introducing a character that's more of a jerk than he is.
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
I mean, who do you like? I found myself saying Kiria more than Asumu.
We keep saying, how much Asumu sucks. Well, now we don't because we've got Kiria to hate.
Oh no, he still sucks.
He sucks less. He sucks less. That's character development.
I was going to bring up though, even with all these rare changes, I do like that there's finally stuff happening in these episodes. Like, I don't agree with some of the changes that are being made. Like, I don't think we ever needed Kiria ever. But
no.
The whole episode with Asumu trying to meet his dad, that was a really good episode.
I'm not sure we need the pool lifeguard either, but that was before the writers got fired. So,
oh god,
Kachiri, you know how fan Brandon the episode 30 when we're introduced to Kiria and it's dumb bike race. I reflexively sitting there in my chair, laying down there watching the TV. I honest to God said it out loud. Dog.
Nope.
No. You're not quite there for dog yet.
No, it's dog. It's dog.
Dog shows up, just not quite.
There's 2 dogs.
An adorable Shiba.
Dog.
Okay, dog.
See, 2 dog. 2 dog.
What the fuck is that fire tire? The fucking fuck. I agree. the fucking fuck is absolutely right, because even as Cameron Victims of the Week go, this is brutal.
Dude gets immolated. What the fuck?
Incineration.
And it's not like, it's not even like CG disintegration where he just turns to dust. No, they literally just show him melting.
No, they light you on fire.
Yeah, he was like in pain. He was suffering. He was screaming. But we can't have the Wolverine claws,
too,
you guys.
if I was being killed by flame hineyard.
Fire breathing is too scary for the children. Anyway, here's this man being burned alive.
Oh yeah, We're allowed to have fire. Just it says no fires. We're allowed to have one. Complete over everyone's head. Never mind.
I got it. I'm having a hard time breathing after laughing.
You got it. It just sucked. I get it.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Too little, too late. Too little, too late.
So, did anyone else get Power Rangers vibes from the man and woman? With
yes, absolutely.
That was totally Power Rangers. I'm sorry.
Cutting our hair off to make something. But yeah, these are now the Zed and the Rita of Kamen Rider. I mean, not nearly as good. I mean, Zed and Rita are iconic. These two, not so much.
Oh, I was going to say, because of Kiria's actors, like the only known face, basically, of Dino that is still willing to be on Kamen Rider. Every now and then when they do crossovers, it's either going to be the Red Demon guy from Dino, or it's going to be him. So if we ever cover Dino, this actor is like the main rider in the Dino homages. And then he also becomes the evil god of Kamen Riders in the Outsiders series.
They just like him. They just really like that guy.
They really like this man, yes.
And apparently he gets his ass beat by our baby Izu.
Yeah. Well, again, 03 is Izu, there, and Arc all in one rider.
Okay, but still, it's our baby Izu.
Yes.
Our precious squirrel. Our precious squirrel.
Gonna pretend to know what the hell you're talking about. Move
on. Imagine if Kasumi was like a robot and became a Kamen Rider, and
I'm sorry, you said the show was called 03.
Well, so it's called 03, but the show is 01. His final form is called 02, and then they decided.
Okay, so I should watch Kamen Rider 01. Got it.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, it's shorter than this season.
There you go.
And better.
Sold.
Even with
it has dog
contest arc.
Sold.
And you get to learn about dog.
The origin.
The origin of the dog.
Speaking
of origins, apparently Kiria is Hibiki's son.
No.
I think they're for that.
That did get me though. That got me at the end of the episode. I was mad. Yeah. I typed in all caps. You better be joking. That is not his dad.
You typed in all caps. I don't. We knew he was serious.
Writing thing. Yeah.
Also that take. Did they really want to go with that take? Was it like the end of shoot? That's dad.
They were running out of money. They were like, "We'll just fix it in post. Use whatever."
We shot 20 takes. That was the best one.
Yep.
I rapid fire some other stuff in this episode. The French scene, because he has to be perfect. Then we find out that he doesn't want to be athletic, so he comes with different excuses why he can't play basketball or run.
Now that's kind of based. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. The fire monster was pretty cool. I did like the design of the fire monster.
Again, though, it's just flame hineyard.
Yeah, but less annoying.
Well, it keeps screeching when it shoots a fireball, so...
I mean, it doesn't keep repeating. So, second, there's a game called Mega Man X7. It's a poorly coded game, and one of the bosses screams the same 5-word phrase like 3 times a second while you hit it over and over again. That kind of looks like this.
It does. I'm not just saying that because it's like an annoying fire creature. Yeah. It really does look like flame hineyard.
dog on fire,
Also,
kind of.
why does every single fire boss in X has to be named Flame? Because you have Flame Mammoth, Flame Stag.
Yeah, it's a fair
Anyway.
point. Also, there's no Doji and Hime here, so did it just melt them immediately?
Probably.
Did it just set them on fire?
Or they didn't want to spend the money on more Doji and Hime makeup and suits.
Yeah. We're here to defeat. Oh God!
I do enjoy the scene of Kiria's mom embarrassing him. That was hilarious.
Yes.
Oh, we know that you gotta make sure your tummy's sensitive.
I thought that's what they were heading like. He wasn't quite the jerk they were making out to be. No. The jerk's still cool and they're out of Kiria. Particularly in the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, also there was a really weird edit. Like Hibiki, so Ibuki falls to the ground, then it shows Hibiki run and jump, and then it shows the monster holding up Ibuki, getting kicked by Hibiki, and then the next shot is Ibuki still on the ground from the first shot.
Yes. Can we also point out
forgot.
that they beat the fire monster with more fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, my fire was better.
My fire was hotter.
Yeah.
So JoJo memes. Did anyone else get Dio vibes from Kiria trying to talk to Mochi?
Kind of.
Like,
Yeah.
he was a second away from kitchen Mochi and going, "Oh, you thought your first kiss was Asumu? No, it was me, Kiria."
Oh God.
Whatever.
Oh,
I'm
like
in
young
that era
Dio.
anyway.
Okay, I can see it. Yeah.
If he ends up going with Mochi, ultimate heel turn for Mochi.
No. Mochi Akira is endgame. We know.
OTP.
Yes, but these writers suck. So
Anything is
These
possible.
writers fucking
What's your bingo game that you've been playing?
Oh, it's just it's just like the Inoue bingo because he's been a writer on so many shows. He has some things that he sometimes does in shows that like people remember him for better or for worse. So I can pull it up very briefly. I just made a little bingo card for everyone if they want to, as they are watching the episodes, go through
yes.
and keep track of things that
Oh,
show up in the episode. I can pull
We
it.
did one for our one and probably only live podcast. So yes, there it is.
I love what we already have.
I will not keep it up the
Lower
whole
level.
time, but just keeping
The
these in
rest of
mind as we move forward through this range of episodes. Some of which we have already seen, so maybe maybe you'll
The
fill out
bottom
the
right
card.
square is sending me into orbit.
Wait. With Kuchiri's talk about that edit, we already have bingo.
Yeah.
We have abrupt editing. We have
Yeah.
a strange relationship with the father, and Kiri is an insufferable asshole with gray hair. We got bingo.
Bingo.
One match for these fuckers, and we got bingo.
Food-based humor is also amazing.
I was going to say the fact that Kiria all of a sudden suddenly wants to get like super close to Asumu. I mean, that's a little homoerotic.
Yes. Yes.
No. I swear to God, like as soon as I heard, "Oh, welcome to the new student, you'll be sitting next to Asumu," he did drama between men.
No, we don't get to use that against these two.
No, they don't earn it. They're not. They're not.
He's not Banjo. He's not our supremely stupid good boy.
He's also not Valen or Shoma, the other heated drama between.
Now that's a valid heated drama between men.
That is very heated. But we still have 20 episodes to go. They could heat it more. Or maybe it'll show up between other characters.
Can I vote that they don't though?
It's,
Do I get a say in this? No, because
also,
it was
also
2005.
the fact that the community has like the best ship name for them, Chocogummy, just so good.
That's pretty
Anyway,
Yes.
So yeah,
Oh yeah, subplot colds.
yeah, we have the whole dad plot, which is, I'm surprised they even brought it up. I'm surprised. Did anyone else thought that the dad was dead?
Yes.
Yes.
He probably was in the first set of writers' world.
It wasn't supposed to matter who his dad was because Hibiki is like the dad figure.
They're the second.
We're supposed to focus on the dad.
Then the second set writers upgraded his condition to alive.
Yeah, they were like, let's have him spend the whole episode looking for his dad, but then he decides he doesn't actually care. So we're like back where we were before.
It's kind of development because we find his dad's got a new family and the girl's kind of cute and she wants a dog. She wants to kennel for the dog, so he decides to do a nice thing and dog. It's a cute Shiba Inu.
So I do actually like I feel like this is the first time I enjoyed one of these talks between Hibiki and Asumu because it feels deserved. It's an actual subject to be touched.
It's an actual substance to it, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the one in before the fan recommended cutoff. I liked them.
Also, the fact that his mother just doesn't, when he says, I know I'm not supposed to tell her, and she just hands him the address and doesn't question it, doesn't tell him off for it. She knows he has to find out for himself.
Yeah.
That's a good mother.
And it's the fact that Asumu. So, by the way, this whole thing is because Kiri is a piece of shit. It's like, oh, I wish I had a dad because I want.
I wish my dad was still alive so I could beat him in every activity.
Yeah.
Now I'll never surpass him.
Seto Kaiba has entered the chat.
Yeah, and so Asumu is, long story short, wanting to meet his dad and trying to do something to make himself better than his dad. Clearly, his dad did something to his mom that hurt his mom,
She says it's just that he was a workaholic and she was a workaholic and they just sort of drifted apart.
But then he has another family, so maybe it's not just that.
Yeah,
that could have happened after. Well, that could have happened after the.
No, I think it happened after, but maybe it's not just the work thing. Maybe they just weren't compatible.
Yeah,
ultimately.
But Asumu hears a story about how his dad was going to build this doghouse for his neighbor's dog. So Asumu, instead of going to confront his dad and talk to his dad, decides I'm going to be better than my dad and fucking build this doghouse. He finally does something for once, unprompted.
Yeah,
character development.
It
took a different staff to finally make him somewhat likable.
Now he only somewhat sucks. Improvement.
Growth. Can you just imagine the new writing staff coming in on the first day? Okay, so let's take the character brief. Let's look at the protagonist here, Dachi Asumu. So what has he done? What the fuck?
he didn't stand up for a pregnant woman? Fuck that shit.
What do you mean he leered at a woman at the train station? What the fuck?
Why didn't we need to clear that sooner?
Well, masturbation joke? Are you guys serious?
They're working out for them.
Weird.
Yeah.
I love how that's too much for them, but they don't mind setting a man on fire.
But as long as it's due to a Makamo and not because of scary fire breathing, you don't want to scare the children.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that doesn't make sense, but that makes sense. To like a parent, like Hibiki's the good guy. He can't do violent.
It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. What kind of moon logic is that?
The Japanese parent logic in 2005.
Moon logic alpha, moon logic zapper. Dear God.
I do find it funny that we've now covered 2 dog redemption stories on this podcast, and it's Hibiki with the bear one.
Oh my God!
And they didn't even have like a dog.
There's 20 episodes of Gav left. It might happen in that too.
Might get another one.
All of a sudden, Lane goes like, "So I became this evil boss of our dad's company because of a dog." And it just cuts to a brand new dog with a brand new stomach.
Yeah, Glotzer gives up evil and just has to run a kennel instead.
Oh,
dog.
So let's get to the first part of our final form two-parter.
Do we have to, though?
Do you want the final form or not? You have to suffer sometimes.
We can get the final form without this guy.
What are you talking about? This guy says ACAB. We stand this guy.
No, we do not. I mean, not the ACAB thing. That's fine, but the fact that we've gone from having new writers and their first two pieces of business are to introduce two insufferable characters. Not one, but two.
Hey, hang on. You know that bingo card?
Yeah.
Scratch off the Rogers Barely Disguised fetish because it's time for paddling.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Why did he add that? Like, what purpose did that serve?
Because
That's
fetish, I
only
guess.
self-respect. That's
No.
paddling.
Because one of the writers had a vision of a joke about a man taking off his belt, and all of a sudden it was like 3 times his size. And
Whoa.
wanted to do
Whoa,
that.
whoa. TMI.
Oh, God.
Phrasing, my dude. Phrasing. We've lost second.
No, I'm here. I'm letting it settle. I'm letting things
God,
settle.
I thought I
before we
killed you
move
live on air. I would have felt so bad.
Oh, they're made of sterner stuff than that rain.
Yes.
They watch other Toku shows and they play like a dragon. They are very sturdy to some of these jokes.
Fair. But
You had to be built with a certain constitution to handle Goro Majima.
I'm hoping that in his little arc that we're going to get in, presumably the end of episode 33, that he comes to realize something, because he sort of had half of that when he was talking to I forget her name. Sorry,
Midori.
Thank you,
I
Midori.
love the fucking joke that he's such a goddamn perfectionist that he made a power up that nobody can use because you literally have to be perfect to use it. Overload you.
It's not just that; it's so powerful it takes away your own power. Wow, brilliant!
Yeah, because he's just like, oh, you need to be more disciplined to use it. Literally, nobody can be that disciplined. You're being too much of a perfectionist.
It's not even the fact that they're going to be disciplined; it's the fact that he's literally made it too powerful.
Yeah.
Can't see that it's his fault.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
He almost does, and then we get a weird tangent about karaoke. But
Because they're trying to
karaoke. He's just sitting up singing without any backing vocals or acapella.
well, he calls it karaoke.
Karaoke for him.
I fucking
That's his
love.
karaoke. And nobody
What
else.
do you like about Mr. Is it Kagure? Yeah.
I fucking love the karaoke. He finishes the plot and he just goes into the next verse. It's just like,
I love the fact that this is actually a character that can put fear of God even into innocuous old man. And when he's saying like, oh, last time I met him, he maybe sit still for 2.5 hours. It was 3.5 for me, and he says it was 4.5 for me, and they just stare at him like, what? Also, he's got a grudge
like
because they stole the
introducing
strawberries
a
off his
villain.
cake or something. What?
He remembered that. It was really important to him. It offended him a lot.
I think that made him become who he became today. A
Yeah,
bitter
another
asshole.
story.
A bitter perfectionist asshole. He actually interrupts a fight where they could actually have taken out the new dojo in here. We'll get to them in a second, I'm sure, but he interrupts them to teach him a lesson. What a dick! The road trap was funny, though. That was funny.
Yeah, no. I'm happy that things are happening in these episodes. They're not. It's not just vibes anymore. We got events happening.
Oh, things are happening. I just don't like him.
Uh,
Is that an improvement? Possibly.
For
I
Kuchiro,
like-
perhaps.
I like that they have now made the perfect doji and hime, so no other doji and hime or black puppet or white puppet are needed.
This feels like, you know, kind of a dig against firing the writing staff and wiping off their thing. They carefully curate this mystery, and then it's just like, oh, here's some guys in funny hats. We don't need.
I think they called them the stupid dojo and Hime. Is that correct?
No, they don't. They haven't named them yet.
Okay, I thought I caught that on the. Sorry, maybe it was in the trailer for episode 33. But this superpowered dojo and Hime, I kind of like him. They're playful. They keep fanning each other, which is interesting. In between, like during battles, they like take a quick fan of themselves. They haven't got that whole gender flip voice thing going on. That's a plus because it's very confusing to say which one's the dojo, which one's the Hime. Now we know.
And they're also not. They're not insane amount of makeup, so that's less money to be spent on their outfits.
Absolutely. Now they only have to play 2 parts because we blew up the puppets as well. So, save budget. Fire a bunch of writers and save budget. God.
That's the success recipe. That's the recipe for success for the rest of Kamen Rider Hibiki. Undo everything the old writers did and save budget.
Honestly, I'm surprised that they didn't kill Asumu and replace him with Kiryu.
They could have done that, and
Or
I
they
would
have
have
to
stopped
redeem
watching.
him.
I would have stopped
He
watching.
has to have a foil now.
Yeah. I would have just gone silent for the last 4 podcasts.
Yeah. So the arm saber, Todoroki thinks he can use it, even though everyone's told him he can't use it.
But it's not even that he can't use it; it's that no one can use it because it's literally too good.
Yeah, no. And the fact of the matter is, he's still an idiot that thinks he can use it, and he can't use it. And then Hibiki tries using it and can't use it. And now the Super Doji has it,
and he can't
and then
use
the
it.
episode ends. Yay! Cliffhanger.
I would love if he just. We know that he does it because we've seen the trailer for the next episode. But if it just ended with the Super Doji just breaking it in 2,
Nah.
that would have been a really good
forever.
That would have been a really good payoff, actually.
Yeah.
But no.
The real final forms are the final forms we made along the way.
See, then they could have found a different way to get to Hibiki's final form, and it would have been, better.
Considering the name of Hibiki's final form,
Well, I'm guessing it's Arm Saber Hibiki, so
just armed Hibiki.
Armed Hibiki.
Yeah, it's literally Hibiki.
Yes, because he didn't have arms before, guys.
He's
He has the right
to stand on.
he has the right to bear arms.
Yeah.
But we don't get that till the next episode because
Yeah.
cliffhanger.
And
We have to just sit here and look at the sword being
I'm fine with
carried
it.
away by the villain.
I'm fine with it.
And once we get past the next batch, we can watch the movie whenever we want to, because the movie does not take place in continuity, but does have the final form. And we can also talk about the Hyper Battle DVD at any time, because the Hyper Battle DVD also.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I don't know about any of these things, but well, it's wild. All y'all are like invigorated by this when this is the fan recommended copy. It's like, oh fuck, this show now they made it interesting and different.
But have they made it interesting, though?
They've made it more.
They made it more.
They put,
more things are happening.
I don't know how to phrase this without I don't know. They put some spark in it, I guess.
Actually, I don't know. Sums it up perfectly.
The
They
thing
made
is,
it more Kamen Rider-y.
the whole loss conversation felt forced to me because Hibiki's loss was a hat that he only wore for one episode.
So nice
Like-
hat, though.
It was a nice hat, but the fact that Hibiki, they wanted to do a moral story about Lost, and it felt more like a bit. The whole talk about women and growing up and finding the perfect girl between Akira and Mochi, and the whole time Asumu's just staring at boobs.
I will be
Then-
honest with you, the first 29 episodes, it felt like a bit, really,
Hang
Yeah.
on.
at times.
Hibiki's hat is like Clara's scrunchie.
Oh, my God.
Such a deep cut.
Okay, I'm
So
going.
the X's over there.
I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain the joke
Be-
for
be-
our esteemed
before you
guest
get
who doesn't
that-
know Clara
Finish
Oswald.
my point.
There's a scene where a guy
Finish my-
in Doctor Who where a guy's going to sacrifice himself by running a train into a portal to stop a thing, and the girl Clara is like, "Or I could just use a scrunchie instead. I wouldn't want to sacrifice this scrunchie, and I'll remember this scrunchie every day of my life. Or." You could sacrifice yourself in the train. Your choice.
Okay. Yeah. I
I'll always
understand.
remember you as the man that saved my scrunchie.
Parallels. Yes.
So back to
The
my
hat
point I
and
was
the
trying to make. Those felt more like bits when we finally have a conversation about Asumu wanting to meet his dad and wanting to have actual advice about should I meet my dad who basically abandoned me. that I don't know, like that scene had more heart to it than any of the previous talks, in my opinion. And,
the show's got more heart now. I accept that.
but it's a different kind of heart because the previous 29 episodes had their own version of heart. They had their goofy personal moments between all the characters. And now we have Kiria taking up all the plot points where I would have just loved to see how these new characters react under this writer. These old characters react under this new writer instead of shoehorning the character in the last 18 episodes.
Why do I have the horrible feeling they're not done with that?
No,
I think there's more to come.
Yeah.
And if they're as bad as Kiria and Mr. Kagure, maybe they shouldn't have bothered. I'm just saying.
But on other things, like we're actually having more action-y scenes. It's not, it's a giant CGI fuckfest, and we can't actually show a good action scene because
you say that, and then a giant CGI monster shows up at the end
of 29. Well, I guess the dog. Yeah, the dog.
The three-headed thing.
The dog.
I think it's meant to be Cerberus. But it looks nothing like Cerberus I've ever known.
CGI. Doesn't look as good. If they just got a
we're
real three-headed dog,
the CGI, so I'll just put 50p in the swear jar and we'll move on.
I don't know. It's weird because I would still love to know where the original plan was going to go, like how the original plan was going to be. But at the same time, considering how much plot we actually had in 29 episodes, I don't think we would have moved the needle that much farther.
No.
I'm surprised in 20 years, the old writing staff have never spilled the tea.
Non-disclosure agreement?
Yeah.
It's been 20 years. Surely there's a statute.
They don't run out.
No, the thing
is,
die. Even the actors we talked about, the actor for the Doji and the original, the actor for Hibiki, they both, all they can say is, I wish we were doing the previous stuff instead of what we ended up doing.
Yeah, because that doesn't break NDA.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can just say, I'm disappointed we're not doing the original plan. I'm just surprised that, after this long, you can't say, we wanted to do that. Like, it's done and dusted. It's Hibiki. It's over. It's been over for 20 years. Why can't you say it? I don't get it.
My only regret is the show got bone-itis.
Who does it hurt now?
There's always who knows, maybe there's a hope that they do it 20 years. Well, it's way too late now. They would have announced it.
This is why non-disclosure agreements are generally bullshit, because of exactly this.
The previous writer Fies had the 20 years after special, but that was mostly to wash the taste of that horrible novel that came out after the show ended out of everyone's mouths.
Well, and Fies is a little more popular than Hibiki is. Like, Fies is pretty beloved, I think, among a lot of comic
Fies has merchandise.
They don't mind. Yeah, Fies has toys.
Fies has a novel where one of the characters become a pedophile rapist.
Oh, God.
So kill it with fire, and also... I despise Fies. Yes, you can have that one for free, guys.
So, did the Hibiki movie come out during this stretch of episodes? Speaking of movies,
yes.
Because there was an episode, there was a line when he was like, "Hey, did you guys hear about that new period piece about 7 really cool swordsmen that's out in theaters right now?" And he
I thought it was talking about the 7 Samurai. I didn't twig it was the Kamen Rider movie.
I think he's talking about his own movie.
I think you're right.
Well, Inoue actually took over all the writing and everything for the movie. The original creators had nothing to do with the movie.
Oh boy, Inoue movie.
Inoue is also the author of that said novel, by the way. That I just
completely unsurprised.
That makes so much sense.
Lord.
It's all coming together.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together now.
What is coming together? Yes.
Do we need to go over our thoughts, or should we go on to plots?
I'm not happy with the career. I'm not sure where it's going. I hope it's going to be satisfactory to justify this jerk of a character.
It's definitely a different show, this Hibiki. There's some good improved. There's some more that's not as good, but it's still keeping part of those strange vibes to the show, which I guess is like essential. You'd have to make an entirely different show. I don't think you could just flip a switch and turn this into a traditional Kamen Rider feeling show even within a batch like this. I think you'd need a lot of time to do that, and it remains to be seen if they'll do that or not. But I think they're going to keep the strange vibes even as they change other stuff around. So I'm interested to see where this goes. If it becomes like a train wreck or not, we'll find out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Whoa. This is not.
I just got a blasted music on my headphones. I don't know if it got through onto the stream.
Nope.
Podcast. Sorry. I keep calling it stream. Ah!
The Kamen Rider Hibiki stream of
You know,
consciousness.
I could live stream these. That's an option in Meets.
You could. Please don't. I'll be even more embarrassed if you live stream this.
Second, what were your thoughts?
I feel like I haven't seen enough of episodes with the new writing team to make a solid judgment on anything. So I don't want to be too harsh. It's like when you go to a restaurant that you've been going to for a really long time, and there's this dish that you get, and it's kind of funky. It's not the best dish. Like, it's a little bit weird, but like you get used to it and you like it. And then suddenly they change the recipe, just like a little bit. Like, it's the same restaurant and it's the same dish, but it's just a little bit different. But it's still the dish that you like, but they just kind of made it a little bit differently, and you can tell.
That's
my extended metaphor.
That's an amazing
how I feel about
metaphor. Well
Hibiki
done.
right now. Like, I'm tasting it and I'm like, it's different. It's the same dish with the same ingredients, but they made it differently, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. That's my thoughts on Kamen Rider Hibiki episodes 29 through 32.
I was more interested after 29. It just felt more active, I guess. I don't know.
Whoa, so you're like the opposite of the fan recommend cutoff. You're going
And
against the grain.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, whenever we talk about Ghost eventually on this podcast, I know I dislike Ghost, but I don't want that to flavor anyone else's thoughts. You know,
Yeah.
Clearly there was a bunch of fans who watched the show weekly back in 2005, 2006 that were insulted by this action. Clearly the head actor of Hibiki and the Doji was insulted by this action, and they hated what came from the project. I avoided watching Hibiki before this podcast because I didn't want to deal with the writer's shame. You know.
You were very wise to do that, I think.
Yeah.
But now you're watching it and you're like, wait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of enjoying because again, it just feels like there's more purpose. That's it. That's the word. There's more purpose to things.
More purpose. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I would agree. I just hope the purpose isn't terrible.
But we'll see how this goes on. We'll plan out how we want to watch the movie and all that stuff. But we only got four sets of episodes left before we watch Decade and Geo's.
Yeah, thank God the series of Doctor Who will be over by then, so I don't have to do 2 podcasts a week. And then Mike rolls the boogeyman on the wheel.
Speaking of 2 podcasts a week, what's going on tomorrow, Rain?
Well, tomorrow we are looking at the Interstellar Song Contest, and I haven't seen it yet, but these two have, and I know that something major has gone down. I just don't know what.
Oh, this is...
Apparently it's 100 out of 10, which makes me very nervous. So...
What? Who said 100 out of 10?
That would be Kachiri.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they were being entirely serious.
I mean, the second Darvos came. I mean, fuck, shit.
It's a good thing I know. It's a good thing I know you're joking.
You said it wrong again.
Oh,
yeah, I can't believe that people had to go at you for that. Well, actually, I can because it's the internet. But yeah, we will be doing the Interstellar Song Contest with a guest.
Oh boy!
and possibly one less regular co-host because they might be sick, which is not so good. But you're coming down. Oh, okay, so it wasn't a very good episode after all because you're coming down with a cold. Okay,
I think Pressure's coming down with Mega May Mondays.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Yes, I finished talking. Please go ahead.
Good segue. Yes, I am streaming every Monday night, 7 p.m. EST. It is Mega May. Last week we played Mega Man and Bass, and I almost beat the video game, but didn't because that game's really difficult. But
who did you play as?
Bass.
Oh, so you were actually playing easy mode.
Yeah, I know.
Shots fired.
That gets fucking hard. Why would I play Mega Man?
No, none of the stages are built for Mega Man.
I know. That's why I picked Bass. You have to do those ice wall jumps. It honestly feels like.
I mean, it's really hard and everything, but on the plus side, no had to happen in the Astro Man fight. So
had to happen.
I'm assuming you played the Super Famicom version.
Yes.
Okay.
Why in God's name would I play that zoomed in piece of shit?
Isn't there a GBA version as well?
Yeah, also. And it's zoomed into shit. You can't see. Yeah, no.
Imagine all the same size of sprites from the Super Nintendo version, but you only see 60% of the screen.
Oh no, that sounds like hell. No, avoid.
Yeah,
avoid.
Bad. But yeah, but we still got 2 more Mega games to go, and they should be interesting and fun. What else have people got going? Zach does Kamen Rider covers and stuff. Yeah.
Incredible transition.
Yes, thank you.
We're just cooking with those transitions today.
I'm cooking a beef stroganoff here.
Oh my god! I have to go.
Bye. No. Anyway. Go ahead, second.
Speaking of cooking, I will give it up to a different chef in the kitchen this week and use my plug for a channel so I might be second archive, but if you've ever heard of a channel called Seventh Vampire, they are a YouTube channel that does Kamen Rider covers, but in a metal style, and they do it all it's not slop AI generated content, which I really, really appreciate, and they do all of these guitar covers, and I recently reached out to them to see if they would be willing to work together on a cover of Shonen Yo, because at the beginning of this podcast I was like, I'm not covering that song, and it was because it's way too low for me, but they have a version that's a little higher, so I asked if they would be willing to work together on that, and so we're gonna try to do something. I can't remember if I plugged it before, but we also worked together on a cover of Hybrid Rise from 01, like I had
that on repeat while we were doing 01 podcasts. I literally had that on repeat.
Good song.
Listen to this.
So they asked if I wanted to help cover that one, and we worked together, and I thought it turned out pretty nice. But they're a cool YouTuber, and there's a very small niche of Kamen Rider music YouTubers, I feel like, so I always feel like I should give them a shout out when I am able to. So Seventh Vampire on youtube.com. And fun fact, the new guy that spanks people, if you guys didn't know this, also sings the ending theme for Kamen Rider Hibiki. That's the guy. They got the singer of the ending to be an actor in the show. So
I'm sorry, I lost it. The new guy that spanks people. Sorry.
So, oh god. So episode 33, Marue.
Yeah, that's him. That's the Shonen Yo guy.
Sadly, my microphone was muted at the time, so you missed my spit tape. I did a spit tape when Second said that.
I slapped my hand for the
man, this podcast is great. Hey,
Kachiri, did you do any videos lately?
I did. I finally told a story that I've been meaning to tell for the last 10 years about my encounters in a studio in Chicago with a certain nostalgia critic. Do you know who that is, Second?
I've heard of him.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm technically on a YouTube channel with millions of subscribers.
Ooh.
But no one knows me because the whole focus was on a Ed cosplayer.
Yeah.
So I did the video. Man.
You were in two episodes, weren't you?
What?
You're in 2 episodes of that particular game, Chef.
No, I was in a failed pilot.
And then you came back for an actual episode. Yes, okay. So.
Yeah, Doug Walker invited me back to Chicago himself.
Woo, Chicago.
Yeah, it was nice. Speaking of nice, this was podcast 49.
Incredible transition.
I know.
What? 40.
Well,
You're 20 off.
Yeah, I know I'm throwing off, but I'm trying to transition to the fact that we may be cooking something for podcast 50.
The one I'm not going to be here for. Great.
If someone can finally commit to a time with someone else.
Hey, I'm free whenever.
Hey. I feel called out here.
Anyway,
No.
anyway, we're cooking. We're cooking. Get the beef ready for the stroganoff.
That's twice. I have no.
I think everyone wants to get some food. Other than that, I think that's it. We got final form time next podcast when we meet back.
I can't wait. I can wait.
Woo! Armed.
No, look. I'm being unfair.
Arms.
I will give this new writing team a chance to win me over. I will. 3 episodes is not really enough to make a fair impression. 7 on the other hand, if you don't impress me by then, I'm out.
Well, I don't. I think that they were converting some of the pre-made scripts while this was going on. So I think like the next 4 or 5 episodes might have been like scripts that they added Kyria to make it more.
It does make me wonder because, of course, presumably the trailer for episode 30 would have been written by the previous writing team.
Yeah.
If they plan to have Kyria come in, but maybe not quite as much of a jerk as he was.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Back then they were like filming the episodes a month before they aired. So,
True.
2 months.
True.
It was a very short turnover time back then. Not like now when Gav has been already completely filmed and they're already working on Zetus. But,
Fair.
yeah. Well, I think that will wrap things up. Anyone else has any final plugs before we shut things down for this week?
Not that I can
Not
think
I.
of.
All right. We'll see you guys next time for the final form stuff, and then we'll probably decide then when we want to watch the movie. We want to take a break from the show to watch the movie, or wait until after the show ends, because
We'll figure something out.
So see you guys next time. Have a great night.
See ya.
Bye.